the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Monsieur Jared DuBois,
You got your voice
lined
back.
up on a Thursday. My voice is back. My connection to the internet is not back. I don't want to talk about it. I'm a little salty right now.
Just a heads up,
did-
I'll probably
I am-
be hitting the cough button a lot tonight. Whatever you had is kind of come over here a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'll send it out west. I packaged it up and sent it out there to you, just like I did those shoes finally. I was going to say what cheered me up as we were getting ready to go on the air after I had my connection issue, which prevented us from going on at the stroke of 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, was that image that I believe our own Morgan did for our teaser this evening with Jesse Marsh, Mr. Jim Curtin, and is that Greg Berhalter in the Joe Pesci role? Is that what that is, Jared? Is that what that is?
Whatever you want, Berhalter gets. No, so Morgan, was there a gun in Mel Gibson's hand and you replaced it with a playbook or like a book? She says yes. Okay, so
It should have been a pair of Nikes, but sure. Okay, a book works, I guess.
in his hand. Come on.
I'm just messing
Okay,
with you.
so here's a question for you. Can you put the image back up again one more time, Nick? Sorry for the podcast listeners. You have to go out to our socials and see it. So first of all, I love the old school leather over the shoulder holster, like the
Yeah,
that
you and
the-
all
the-
the old school cops. You guys out.
that
in
the Danny
beat.
Glover character has. But here's my question to you: what does
Yeah.
Jesse Marsh keep in that holster?
What is Jesse Marsh keeping? His a whole bundle of positivity, Jared. A bunch
Can
of
of
good
Red Bull on the
feelings.
ready?
Some vibes, my friend. There are vibes right there in that holster. He yanks them out. And you know who he catches? He catches those South African guys who had all the Krugerrands. That's who he catches.
Oh, is that Mr. Jeremy or whatever?
I don't remember. I just remember it was diplomatic immunity or whatever he said.
I haven't watched Lethal Weapon in so long.
Was that 2? I think I'm talking about 2.
2 is the best one. That's the one that starts with them on the pot, and they got the
Yes,
bomb, and they have to
the
get off the
bomb.
toilet, and it's like on 3
Yeah.
or 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Is that so? But it's the first one when we meet Riggs, and I don't want to get into the problematic things about Mel Gibson, who Morgan thought was Mel Brooks on a bonus show that long ago. But he does pop his shoulder back in that movie at one point, right?
Oh, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
2? Again, is that 2? I'm not
It
sure.
might have been both of them, if I remember correctly.
They all run together. The Lethal Weapons all kind of run together into one
Well,
big.
I think Joe
giant
Pesci's in the
movie.
second or third. He joins not in the first for
I
sure.
think he's in the. He's in this. I can't. Morgan's holding up fingers. 3.
Third.
He's in the 3. He's in the 3rd.
Oh, but happy birthday, Mr. Joe Pesci, as well today.
Oh, how old is Mr. Joe Pesci?
80.
Can I guess?
Oh, you
my
said how old?
God.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were
I
going to say
did. My fault. I should have. I wanted to guess. Joe Pesci is 80 years old. We are here to talk about soccer, believe it or not. We're here to talk about Jesse Marsh, who, unlike Murtaugh, is gone from his job. Murtaugh, well, he was too old for this shit. He was ready to retire. Jesse Marsh didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave Leeds United, Jared, but they decided after what happened against Forest on Sunday, they just could not abide anymore Jesse Marsh, and he is out. I know the rest of the American soccer world has already responded to this.
Yeah.
Give me your impressions. Shock, surprise, disappointment. Did you
only-
cry for an hour?
No, I mean, I think the case could be made that it was the right decision to be made. I feel like that you can't get one win out of 17 or something like that. I can't remember what the run was.
2
It
out of
was
17, I
2
believe,
out of
was
17.
the number.
I mean,
yeah.
what's
They hadn't won
surprising
since
to me is
November.
what surprises me is not the fact that he was released. What's odd to me is that they let him have the transfer window. That's what's weird to me.
That timing of this is like, hey, we're not positive about this going forward if the results don't get better, but we're going to keep you through January. I mean, I'm not sure they told him this. I don't know. We're going to sign some guys. Look, I don't know how much of that was just Jesse Marsh's recruiting. I mean, clearly Weston McKennie has a connection to Marsh because of their shared nation of origin. I get that. But you could argue that Reuter and some of these other guys, they're just good players, and they were just available at the price point that Leeds could afford. And it's not necessarily about we got them for Jesse Marsh, right?
I mean, you got
And
Tyler Adams, his national team partner. That makes sense whether Jesse Marsh is the coach or not. But if you're Weston McKennie, it's kind of like, really? Like this is week
Yeah.
one. This is
Yeah,
week
but-
one.
But this okay. Weston McKennie had to know that this was possible and possible soon. Like, was he naive enough to think he would get 2 or 3 weeks with Jesse at least if the results weren't good, or did you think that Weston McKennie came in and thought, you know what, this could happen tomorrow. I'm still cool with being in Leeds. Like I like a good pudding. Let's go.
Yeah, I think getting out of Juventus was the first priority. Obviously, their situation is horrible right now. There's so many problems at Juventus. I think getting to the Premier League was probably a move that he wanted to make. It sounds like he may have had an option. I think it was Villa that was also looking, and down the stretch at last second, it seemed Arsenal was in it. So I think with Leeds is probably a great landing place for him, not just because Jesse Marsh was there, but he gets him Premier League, gets him out of Juventus, it gets him at a club that probably needs him to be able to stay up. And it's also like very little risk because if they don't stay up, he has an out. He's out.
This is a loan move. It was what, 1.2 million pounds or something that goes Juve's direction. Juve is doing this because there clearly wasn't anybody coming in at a Weston McKennie valuation in that particular window. Doesn't mean somebody won't pay for that much for him in the summer, but right now they're not going to get the 30 mil they really want. Clearly Leeds was like, yeah, we're not really sure about that 30 million pounds yet, so give us a beat. So this is the deal that they struck.
It's a smart bit of business for all parties.
If Leeds stays up, they execute the option to buy. If they go down, then Weston McKennie's free to go somewhere else. I mean, obviously, you go back to Juventus initially, and then they'd have to figure something out. I wonder. I mean, look, it's easy for us to say, well, if Arsenal was calling, you should have gone to Arsenal, or if Tottenham was calling, because apparently they were linked to him many, many times, you should have gone to Tottenham over Leeds United. I'm not sure Villa is necessarily a step up, but still, it's something, right? And look, I there probably was a, hey, I want to go hang out with my boys factor here. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you want to play with Tyler Adams if you're Weston McKennie? You have the option. Why not?
Well,
and we don't make
especially when you're sitting in Italy and you're watching the guy that you know you can play with step for step. Just did it in the World Cup, and you're seeing that he's making a name for himself in the Premier League. Like, he is considered a good Premier League top 6-7 center defensive midfielder in the Premier League. So
Sure.
I think you can make that argument, top 10 for sure. But so if you're Weston McKennie and you know you can play at the same level as Tyler Adams, why not go and prove it?
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I think his first game, very hit and miss. I don't think he looked very good in that game. It definitely looked like he was struggling with the speed of the game. The Premier League is going to be closed down in a way that Italy is not known for being. Italy, more time on the ball, fast movement of the ball, but the people don't close down the same way they do in the Premier League. And I think you saw him struggle with that. In the game against Manchester United midweek, I think you saw him put out the better effort, looked fairly decent, but what you seen from Mr. Weston McKennie for the last year or so struggles after 60, 70 minutes. I don't know that he can keep the pace that he sets for himself for 90, and I was surprised to see him go as late as he did.
Yeah, there's that. It's hard to know anything right now with Jesse out and the responsibilities being shared by a bunch of people, including Chris Armas, who showed up yesterday, basically, to Leeds and was kind of, oh, yeah, by the way, Jesse's out. We're going to keep you around for some reason, and you're going to be involved in decision-making for this game against, Manchester United.
Well, listen, it makes a little bit of sense.
United.
First of all, Chris Armas knows the 3 American players that are at the team. Also, you have 2 games in a row against Manchester United. Where did Chris Armas spend time last year? Manchester United.
Sure.
That being said, Ten Hag has really overhauled that team. A lot of it's not the same as what he would have seen last year, but it is some insight at least into how they prepare, how that team is. So I think it makes sense to keep him around. And I don't think Chris Armas is a bad dude, but he's got American stink on him. That's not going to go over well at the Leeds side.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't want to get into an argument about whether or not Chris Armas is properly rated by people who think assistant coaches can tank Manchester United. I don't really care about that. I mean, I'm not, and I don't need to defend Chris Armas. Like, if you guys lucky enough to work for multiple Premier League clubs after stints as the Red Bulls and TFC manager, good for him. Like, good for him.
If I remember correctly, didn't Tyler Adams play under Chris Armas at Red Bull as well?
He would have played under Armas when Armas was an assistant there. That's true. So, yeah.
Yeah,
there's that.
I think so. There's a relationship.
I mean,
there
it's
as
a factor. Maybe it's a factor. Sure, it doesn't matter. The point is that Leeds United got a single point at Old Trafford after being up 2-0 in that game. And, did you see anything to kind of draw this out as to Jesse getting fired? Was it the right move, et cetera, et cetera? And I'm not here to defend Jesse either. You didn't get the results, you get your ass canned. It's how it works. I can question the board's decision-making, but Jesse Marsh didn't do enough to keep the job. So when you watch the team against Manchester United, you see something that was like, oh, okay, well, Jesse was screwing this up and now it's better? I mean, they score in the first minute or the second minute from Nanto, whatever. So
yeah, I think it's a hard game to judge in that regard because you lose Sinistera early, you lose Strack early. That changes up the defense. Now you have Junior Firpo in there, and in the second half, Manchester makes the right move and moves Rashford from the right to the left. I don't know why they spent 45 minutes with him on the right when he's been killing things on the left. They move him to the other side, and you see him take advantage of Luke Ayling over there. But I think it's a hard thing to judge when they use two subs early. I think that might be one of the reasons why Mr. McKinney went so late, even though he was apparently looking like he was gassed.
Yeah, I mean, when you're there's 5, but when you're down 2,
but that's the type of
40
season
minutes.
Leeds has, where all these weird things happen every game, and I don't think a lead other than 5-0 is enough for them to see out a game. I don't feel comfortable with them with any lead right now.
You gotta love reactionary soccer Twitter. You gotta love this thing that happens where, I don't know. It's so easy to sort of flame everybody with negativity. It's harder to be a little bit more thoughtful in your analysis. And I get it. People are on Twitter just to throw out takes. Okay, but I saw after being up 2-0, oh, Jesse Marsh was the problem. Look, Leeds United, they're up 2-0 at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Clearly, Jesse Marsh was the
Jesse
problem.
Marsh didn't know how to create own goals.
And then, oh yeah, that too. And then, okay, well, wait. When you see the final score, when the whistle blows, and they've given up 2 goals and dropped their 3 points from a winning or 2 points from a winning position, then do you say, oh well, they should have kept Jesse Marsh? No, you don't say that, right? Because neither one of those things is entirely true on its own. It's a matter of, Leeds United making a choice that they thought they had to make because they were threatened by relegation again. Remember, they did the exact same thing last year with Marcelo Bielsa, whose reputation is much bigger and deeper and more renowned than Jesse Marsh. They decided to can Jesse Marsh. This is interesting from Kyle. This is a little 12-dimensional chess here. How much was the move due to the Niners enterprise wanting to be majority owners and Andrazi needing to keep value for the sale? This has been the rumor that the 49ers group is going to take over majority ownership of Leeds United, Jared. And, you panic when you think that your asset's value is threatened. When you're like, oh, we might be in trouble. If we drop into 18th, can I make this sale at the same price point?
Why did you splash tens of millions of dollars in the transfer window on guys that Jesse Marsh wanted? Yeah. That's odd to me. That's the only part of this doesn't make sense. Everything else, I understand why I think you saw a good guy not get the right results and was justifiably released. No problem there with any of that. But why give him the transfer window? Why not let a different coach take? I mean, are you gonna let an interim coach spend $40 million though? I don't know.
Well, but here's what you have to remember about the modern Premier League. This is not 2001, 1997, where the manager, with that term manager being applied, is in charge of not only the product on the field, the personnel, the lineup, the tactics. He's also in charge of the transfer kitty. That's not what this is. They have a director of football over there. He's the one pulling the strings on the transfers. And he may get Jesse. No, he may get Jesse's input. I have no doubt that he sat down with Jesse Marsh and said, let's look at this player. What do you think about him? Will he fit into our plan? And Jesse's like, yeah, that guy's great. Or maybe Jesse came to the director of football and said, I like this player. I think he's really good. And the director of football picked it up and went, okay, you know what? I can see this guy making a mark for us, regardless of who the manager is. We'll go out and sign him. Because if you're making decisions based on what is ultimately a temporary hire, every manager is a temporary hire, right, Jared? Then you are doing something wrong. Then you are doing it wrong because you cannot afford now, even with the Premier League just swimming in money, Scrooge McDuck style, you can't afford to just go waste 20 million pounds on a player because the coach we have right now thinks that he might fit the system.
Yeah, the only worry I have at Leeds right now for the Americans is Brendan Aronson and whether or not he's going to get playing time significantly. That's the only thing that I'm really. I think he's potentially going to evolve into a sub because he has that change of pace late in the game.
Yeah,
that pressure can cause problems. We'll see. Sinisterra, it depends how long he's out as well. Rodrigo's out for a while. He may see some minute speed as a result of that, but I am worried. Obviously, they're not necessarily like for Brendan Aronson, but he can play in that forward line if you need him to. But I expect him to rely more on Somerville and Harrison. They look like they're more, I don't know, they fit more. Brendan Aronson kind of just looks like a lot of activity.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Don't know how the season's going to end for Leeds. I mean, clearly it's better for everybody that we care about if they stay up, because Tyler Adams gets a chance to be part of a Premier League team and go into a second full season with that same club. Weston McKennie will likely get his purchase option picked up, and he'll have a permanent home in the Premier League, and maybe they can, push on and move up the table, which we hope they were going to do this year. I don't know if Brendan Aronson survives that, though. Like, if he ends up being a super sub, does he want to stay in that situation? Now, he may not have the pull to say, I want out come summertime, particularly
you're not
if
going
it's
to get 40 or 35 million, whatever they paid for him originally. Yeah. Nick, what did you want to get in with? Oh, hello, Morgan.
Yeah, we're all here. Everybody watching the video. You get an appearance by Morgan. I need to play
normally
you in,
I get a drop.
Yeah, well, I would, but you shocked
The
me.
dog is king of Chicago.
You shocked me.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yes.
Good thing Norman's picking
Don't
her
you
nose
think? Don't you think that even if Leeds gets relegated, Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie have played well enough to get bought and
Tyler
by
Adams.
another Premier League team?
I would almost guarantee you that both players have. Well, again, Weston's
At least Tyler.
Weston staying at Leeds is dependent on them staying up.
Yeah.
I would bet that Tyler has a relegation clause. I would bet he does. I don't think he's staying. I don't think he's playing a championship with a championship team next year. That's not going to happen. There's some move will be made to get him.
I
into
don't
a
think you
Premier
come from a
League
Champions League side to Leeds without taking care of that on the back end. That you're not going to be playing from the Champions League to the championship in 1 year.
I mean, the guy's
Wouldn't Leeds want
established
to
as a
raise
top level
funds by
European
selling
professional.
him?
Yeah, they need to get money off their books for sure if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm less concerned about Tyler's future, regardless of what happens with Leeds. I'm not really overly concerned about Weston's future because I think he even mentioned it that there may have been a possibility of him going back to Germany, and he chose.
It's more the American
Leeds.
damaged goods thing that the Americans couldn't do it. The Americans
I
couldn't cut it.
don't think that's.
I don't think
where
it's
they're pointing the blame.
I don't think that's an issue for the players. I think that was an issue for Jesse, but I don't think it's an issue for the players. And I'm not even sure. Look, I did see some of that. Oh, well, Americans are trash as coaches. Sure. You know what? That's not any different than it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Like, what's really changed for us?
Yeah.
I would like somebody to succeed so we can say American coaches aren't trash.
Tell me how
but there
Lampard
it
and
is.
Gerrard are doing.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's a hard gig, right? It's a difficult thing to do. Not everybody thrives in it.
Let's talk about the Jesse Marsh stuff that really matters, not Leeds.
Oh, God. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
What does this mean for the U.S. men's national team?
Nothing. It means nothing.
Oh, don't say it means nothing.
Nothing. It doesn't. It doesn't mean anything.
It means that he's free.
It will mean something when the sporting director is hired. And if Jesse Marsh is still available when the sporting director is hired, we will come back to this question and we will ponder whether Jesse Marsh might be the head coach of the national team.
Give me a month that you think the sporting director is likely to be solved by.
I think they want to get it done before. I think I've heard before the Women's World Cup. So we're talking July for that? Is that right?
June.
So June-ish, and
Okay.
and
I don't see
they've said
Jesse Marsh
summertime.
taking a job before then because you're probably going to wait through the summer, and if there's moves to be made, the coaching movements are around the transfer movements a lot of the time.
Okay, no, it's possible. I'm not saying that Jesse Marsh won't be available when the sporting director is hired and U.S. Soccer starts really looking for their next head coach for the men's team. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter right now when there's no sporting director, and it's possible, if not likely, that Jesse Marsh takes a gig between now and the end of the season. Somebody said, hey, maybe you can save us from relegation, or hey, come in and take over for the guy who just left for some job we didn't know he really wanted. It could happen. I'm not saying it's likely, but it could happen.
Okay. Let's go back to a different version of that then. Should it happen?
Should Jesse Marsh be head coach of the U.S. men's national team?
No, at all.
Now,
That's
if
just
you
no.
did it this way, and you said Jesse Marsh, Greg Berhalter, I would take Jesse Marsh. I would go Jesse Marsh over Greg Berhalter right now because I'm
Jesse
ready
Marsh
to
or
move
Jeff
on.
Curtin?
Ready? Who's Jeff Curtin?
Jim Curtin, excuse me.
We'll get to Jim Curtin in a second. Jesse Marsh as head coach of the national team does not move me. I am not intrigued by that idea. Look, I like the guy. He's a good talker. I think all of those things are great. I'm not sure that he's tactically flexible enough for me to be comfortable with him as head coach of the men's national team. I don't think that I want the national team playing. I don't want the national team playing Red Bull soccer. I don't think that's a good fit. I don't. And I don't. You talking about the stink of the American? Forget the American part. I don't know that I want the national team. And I know I've talked about realistic options. Pep Guardiola is not coming in for the national team job, but I don't want a guy who just got fired from his second top level job in Europe in like the last 2 years. I just don't want that.
Okay. Oh, I guess JTT, I thought he was making a joke. He says Jeff Curtin is Jim Curtin's brother, and he goes, genuinely, that's the case.
Oh, you got all distracted by that. You left a big pregnant pause. What's happening here?
Sorry, I was reading. There's some good jokes in the chat when I messed up.
You got to bring the jokes in from the chat? You bring them up in the...
Okay, so give me the... Okay, here's the thing that no one can still answer, though.
Yeah.
If not Jesse Marsh, then who? That's
Jim
the
Curtin.
thing.
Jim Curtin. Jeff Curtin.
Wait, Jim Curtin just said he would take the assistant job, for God's sake.
No, of course. Okay,
how shocking is that?
He was making a point, right? His
Okay,
point
what's the
was...
point?
His point was that the 2026 World Cup in the North America is such a big deal that he would love to be involved in any capacity to help the game. Now, maybe somebody's going to call his bluff. I don't think he's going to take an assistant's job. Like Jim Curtin has moved beyond that. But maybe somebody will call his bluff on the national team job. And if I make it a pick your poison, Jared, and we'll just throw all three of them in a hat. Greg Berhalter for round 2. Jesse Marsh fresh off of Leeds. Jim Curtin. Who are you taking?
Jim Curtin.
Jim Curtin. You got to take Jim Curtin.
I think so. I think he has... One of the things I think that worked for Berhalter that I don't think Jesse Marsh has is that connection to younger players. I think Jim Curtin has that. I don't know why he has it, but I think he has that.
Because he wears the shoes just like Greg Berhalter.
But I also think he has the
technical.
I think he has the technical acumen that Jesse Marsh has, if not better. I don't know if he has the experience.
I think Jim Curtin is, based on the evidence we have, okay, does Jesse Marsh have different ideas about how to play soccer that we haven't been exposed to because every time he takes over a team, he rolls out the same kind of plan? Maybe. Sir, why not? Jim Curtin, to me, has proven to be more, and I know he's got a specific system he runs in Philadelphia, but he's proven to be more adaptable on the fly than Jesse Marsh, and I think that matters to me.
All right, let me throw another name in there. Okay, you took Jim Curtin, I took Jim Curtin. Jim Curtin or Hugo Perez?
Jim Curtin over Hugo Perez. Hugo Perez has international experience with El Salvador, which I think matters on some level, but I think I like Jim Curtin more, and I think that his experience in MLS. And look, somebody said, shouldn't we be looking for a coach who has more than just MLS experience? Sure, tell me who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to say yes. I hear Pep might be free soon.
Pep Guardiola is not coming to take over the U.S. men's national team job, right? So let's move to a realistic zone. Who is
Jose Mourinho.
Who is it? Jose Mourinho is not a realistic choice either. That's not going to happen.
Who's a realistic choice? Nobody knows. I can't find anyone that answers these questions.
Juan Carlos Osorio is a realistic choice. Among foreign managers, Juan Carlos Osorio is a realistic choice. Absolutely.
There's rumors that Carlo Ancelotti leaves Real Madrid because he's done with club football and after this season. Do you think he takes a cush national team job?
I suppose he could. There was some thought when John Herdman was doing his old bluff and maybe not going to New Zealand thing. Where was he going? Was he not going? Who knows? He says he wasn't. That Ancelotti might be intrigued enough to take the Canada job because, he got married to a Canadian in Vancouver, Jared. So clearly he's lined
we're an
up
upgrade
for
over
Canada
in general. What's he going to do? Eat poutine?
Man, okay, look, I'm gonna throw in. So what do we got here? I got some people throwing in AVB. Would you have Andres Villas-Boas?
I'll pass.
Would you have Tata Martino? Would you have Tata Martino?
No. Now I don't think we can. Now I think there's too much. I don't know. It's too convoluted now. And after seeing, I was surprised by how weak mentally Tata Martino looked down the stretch for Mexico. It looked like the press and the pressure got to him. I didn't think I'd ever say that about him.
Absolutely.
I was surprised by that.
He got run down by coaching the Mexican national team.
Now, granted, he's going to have no pressure like that in the U.S., But
No.
that did make me feel kind of odd. I don't think Tata
he's-
Martino is an option.
He's a guy who I don't think Tata Martino is ancient by any stretch, but he's a guy who suddenly looks old. Like you're like, oh yeah, that guy's a vigorous dude, and then one day you see him and you're like, oh snap, that guy got old real fast. Like it happens,
Yeah.
and it does feel like that. I agree with you. Again, the pressure would be very different for the United States than it was for Mexico. Someone said Patrick Vieira. That's John Tannenwald saying Patrick Vieira.
I don't think I would take Patrick Vieira. It's nice that he does have some history coaching in the U.S. That helps, but I actually think Crystal Palace is going to be okay.
The job again. I'm going to come
No.
back to this. Patrick Vieira is not going to take the U.S. men's national team job at this point in his coaching career. He's not. You make your look unless you have dramatically good success, and it's possible. It's a young team. It's got talent. You're on home soil. Maybe a semifinal run launches you into the next phase of your coaching career. But you are taking a very big risk to leave the club game, even if you've not been great, even if you have struggles, and even if you failed. You take a big risk to leave the club game to go to the international game because it's difficult to transition back. Very few guys get to do that. Roberto Martinez isn't going to do it. He's not going to do it.
I know it's not sexy, but would you take?
I don't know. Not at a high
Irvin-
level. What is Martinez doing? I don't know.
I know it's not sexy, but would you take Irv Renard over Jim Curtin?
Would I take Hervé Renard over Jim Curtin? I might. I might be intrigued
too.
enough by that.
I might.
I might. Yeah, sure.
That is interesting to me, and I think that's the appropriate level that people should be looking at. To be honest with you, I feel that is a
he's an
accessible.
international football lifer. Like he's a guy
Also-
who
also-
all he does is coach national teams.
hell of a handsome man.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy. That's secondary to my
Like
concerns about him as a coach.
bad guy villain, Bond villain, like good looking. Like he could be across the Baccarat table from. By the way, recipe Burt Baccarat.
Oh yeah, just passed. Yeah, I wish I had some Baccarat to play for you. Anyway, no, Thomas Tuchel's not taking the job. He's not gonna. He's not leaving club football for international football. It's not going to happen. No.
Yeah, it's just a lot of. Maybe you wait out and see if after France makes their.
This is a realistic name because first of all he's American, but this is a realistic name. Tab Ramos, who I think
I feel he's been
gotten
slighted at both the last two jobs he had.
Extremely raw deal, my man Tab has gotten a real raw deal.
Both at Houston and the youth.
They didn't give him. Well, I don't remember. I had to go back and look. Remember what happened with the youth programs? It got run out when there was just a clearing of house, I guess. He was one of those guys. I think Hugo Perez was one of those guys. Was around the same time?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
so.
Somebody tell me. He got a raw deal and give him shit to work with in Houston, and then new ownership comes in and like we're starting over, or new leadership in Pat Onstad at least. And now the man's coaching in the USL Championship, and they are lucky to have him. I hope that works out for now.
What does that say about US if you're pulling a coach for USL Championship to your national team?
Oh, I know, but he's Tab Ramos. He's a national team legend. I think that's mitigated a bit
I
by
think
that
he'd
fact.
be a fantastic assistant coach choice for the main men's national team. I don't know that he is the head coach for a year where we're hosting the cup. I just don't know. I think he's a great guy to have around the team, though.
I wonder about your thoughts on this, Jared. Okay, I'm throwing out that guy doesn't seem realistic, and that doesn't. Bruno Martinez took the Portugal job. Thank you very much to BMR for that. I forgot. So Martinez went from Belgium to Portugal, and by the way, Belgium hired Domenico Tedesco, so he left the club game to go coach Belgium, which I think is an interesting move. I don't know what that means for his future, but you look at this, and I'm saying, oh, that guy doesn't seem realistic. That guy doesn't seem realistic, and this is the idea that. Should the U.S. Soccer Federation, once Sportsology gets done, and once they hire a sporting director, and we're not sitting here talking about who the sporting director should be, which is a thing too.
Rafa Benitez.
The notion is that should U.S. Soccer go out and sort of not waste their time, but should they take swings at these big names and potentially get shot down at every turn when they could be maybe focused? Well, Zidane, I don't know if that's a real thing, but sure. But like, should they keep doing that, and in more than just like calling people up and saying, "Hey, you interested?" Should they be doing a full court press to convince a big name coach? Should there be like a recruiting process instead of like, "You'd be lucky to work for us"? The attitude should be, "Please come and lead our national team. Wonderful coach who everybody loves. Here's what you'll get behind door number 1. This control."
You want a guy that's here for the right reasons. You want a guy that wants the challenge. You want a guy that wants to be in this environment, in this culture. You want a guy that is interested. You don't want a guy that you have to convince.
You want a guy who likes Taco Bell. That's what you're saying
no.
right there.
Hell no.
What is the most important thing for the national team head coach if they are a foreign hire? What do they have to like, or we just can't
about
imagine that they
America?
want? What? Yeah. They have to like something about America, right? Because you're saying they need to be brought in for the right reasons. What is it that they need to enjoy about America for us to be like, okay, I get it. I think he's really here for the right reasons. What is it?
They need to like Friends.
Friends? The show Friends?
Yes. It's
1990s
quintessential
sitcom.
American. It's quintessential American. It's
30
everywhere in the
years
world.
old, my guy.
So?
It's well, I'm just saying, shouldn't it be something more contemporary?
What, WWE? What do you want him to say? What's the
That actually might be a good shout. Although that's a very international product. But
You can't do anything that
WWE
Logan Paul's involved in.
I'm thinking like the Masked Singer. Should they be like Masked
Good
Singer
Lord.
fans?
Have a higher bar for yourself.
Well, no, but this is what America loves. You may not like the Masked Singer. I may not like the Masked Singer. I've never seen.
Okay,
a
I
second
think we
of
could
it,
both
to be
agree on
honest
this. How about this? They have to not necessarily enjoy, but appreciate KFC. Because no one likes KFC. No one likes KFC.
Man,
But we like the idea of
KFC.
KFC. Oh, Nick wants in.
okay.
Nick wants in. And don't you dare say Skyline Chili.
No, he's not going to say Skyline
Of course
Chili.
I'm not
Who do you
gonna
think
say
he is?
They gotta love a barbecue cookout.
That's very generic.
Okay,
I
but
feel like we need
what's
more
being
specifics.
served? What's being served?
Ribeye.
Ribeye.
That's high
Okay.
class.
Okay.
Ribeye
okay.
and a baked potato.
So basically, you're saying that
loaded.
the next national team head coach,
Loaded.
regardless of where they come from, needs to appreciate slow cooked meats, is what you're telling me.
So
right?
we're casting off all vegan coaches.
Oh, you said ribeye,
Vegetarian
mistake.
coaches.
Okay. Ribeye.
He can have the potato that's loaded, I guess.
What about
I'm with Jonathan Prince right
Yeah,
here.
you
They have
could
to like
have a veggie
tacos,
burger.
and I know that doesn't sound right because
Well, I
take
said
the Mexico
I know
job.
I said Taco Bell. It was a joke about Taco Bell being LCD tacos, but yeah, tacos are in there. I think tacos are a fair shout. I don't
I
know.
don't like that. I don't like that Freddie said Friends is terrible TV.
How
It-
dare
it's,
him?
it's not terrible.
Seasons
it's
2,
just
3,
of its
5 are
time.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like Friends. I watched it all. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth
my wife
Friends.
is
I
watching
just
nothing but that
I
right now.
just
She's in
don't think that can
States.
be the thing we use because again, it's 2023 and Friends has not been on the air for 20 years, Jared. Or
If
whatever
I
it
had said
is.
MASH, you wouldn't be mad.
I would say the same thing. MASH? Are you kidding me?
Morgan's 22
MASH?
years old and likes MASH.
Well, that's because she's got a dad who liked MASH. That gets passed down.
Okay.
That's
At the end of the day,
thing that
I don't know the right answer for coach. I'm down for Jim Curtin. I'm down for Hervé Renard. I think those are the right level of coach. Those are realistic level of coaches that you should be thinking about if you're truly thinking about this.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a very, very tough needle to thread, I think, for the U.S. men's national team. And in U.S. soccer, this is what I can promise you, Jared. If I can make one guarantee, if I can lock in one guarantee, no matter who U.S. soccer hires for the job,
We're going to hate him.
lots of people are going to hate him.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It
If
really
it's Jim
doesn't.
Curtin, it's like, why would you get an MLS level coach?
Another MLS coach who doesn't even have an MLS Cup title? What are you guys
If
doing?
it's someone like Hervé Renard, it's going to be like Saudi Arabia's coach. They
a
think
guy,
we're as good as
guy
Saudi
who's got
Arabia?
no major countries on his resume. Has he ever made a semifinal of a World Cup? Why are you hiring that guy? I don't know
If
who
it's
that is. Does
Jose
he coach
Mourinho,
the Champions League?
he's never coached the national team. What are you thinking? He's on the downside of his
Well,
career.
I think a lot of people might not like Jose because of his attitude, but kind of hard to argue with his
But
resume.
here's the thing. Everyone poo-pooed Roberto Martinez. But Portugal hired him.
You poo-pooed Roberto Martinez?
He was good enough for Portugal?
Well, I think I do. What I think that indicates is
stupid?
that the market. Hold on. What I think that indicates is that the market is a tough one. And to that point, Mexico just made their hire too. You know about that one, Jared? Have you heard about
Yeah,
that?
I think the Tigres coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Diego Coca. He is Tigres. He's been Tigres' coach since like November. He's barely been there. He won 2 titles with Atlas, who hadn't won a title in 70 years. So he's got that going for him. And apparently he is the choice of a certain set of Mexican team owners, which is how things work down there. So I think it's mind-boggling as a U.S. men's national
Yeah, so
team
you can
fan to
remove
imagine.
the coach of your competition and give him the national team job.
So Tigres blew up the announcement by jumping the gun on a tweet saying he had left the club, and everybody in our bestie Slack was like, "Whoa, that's very salty of Tigres." Well, yeah, maybe those owners drew away Tigres' coach with a national team job, and they're pissed about it. I mean, I'd be pissed about
This is
it.
the name
if I
we
were
keep
Tigres.
coming back to, and we haven't mentioned in a couple weeks. Yogi Löw still out there.
Yogi Löw, if we manage to convince Yogi Löw, do you think that he would be as close to a consensus choice as we could get?
I think so. I don't think there's many people that can argue. You may argue that you don't like his tactics, or you may argue that you don't like certain things about him stylistically, but you can't argue with the results that Yogi Löw has gotten and the success. Like he's the right caliber coach. He is national team specific, and he has gotten results. So I really feel that would be a slam dunk if they were able to do it. Is it the sexiest one? God, no. God, no.
Just don't put a camera on him.
Yeah. Just like says the guy who put a camera on Morgan.
But actually, you know what? Actually, maybe do. Because I know this is going to be weird, but it's a little bit like no publicity is, no publicity is bad publicity, right? If Yogi Löw does Yogi Löw things, don't you think he gets on SportsCenter more than any national team coach of all time? Don't you think?
Great.
Or TMZ for that matter, or
TMZ
whatever,
for sure.
whatever the new version of Tosh 2.0 is. Don't you think Yogi Löw is all over television with his
I feel like
behavior?
Freddie's right. He does need a new haircut. I mean, he's very Addams Family.
Oh.
His
Well,
haircut's very Addams Family.
That's content that makes itself. Yogi Löw goes for a makeover in New York City.
By the way, this is the U.S. national team that flew their own custom barber to Qatar. And you got Yogi Löw on the bench with that bowl cut.
Coach is a different kind of animal. That's the difference.
Can he understand the modern American player swagger? Is there any chance he understands Weston McKennie?
That's
culturally?
a good question. No, but I don't think he has to. Right? I don't need my national team head coach to be vibing with the guys. I mean, I know Berhalter did, and I guess that helped a young team who had no experience. But I think we're past that. The players and the coach don't even have to be on a team. If you know what I mean? The coach is the director, right? The coach is the guy who sets them out, who goes through, hey, this is how we're going to play. We're going to do this. We're going to attack this area of the field. They've got a weak right back. We're going to use our left side to hammer their right back. Like, I want that guy who just knows the game and can impart that knowledge to the players. I don't need the players to be like, yeah, nice kicks, boss. I don't care about that. Enough already. Let's move on. I mean, Jim
I
Curtin
need a
has
guy
nice
to turn
kicks. He'd
Anthony
be okay.
Robinson into the next Philip Lahm. Who hated Yogi Löw down the stretch, by the way. Oh, no, it was a Klinsmann he didn't like down the stretch.
No, it was Klinsmann he hated because he said Klinsmann didn't give them any instructions. He just kind of rolled them out there.
Let me address Eric's thing right here before we move on. Is Klopp realistic? No.
No.
It's not realistic.
9.
Not that we wouldn't love it.
9. Low.
But it's not realistic.
Low is realistic. What's yes in German? I don't know what yes is. What is yes in German? Yeah?
Da?
Is it yeah?
That's for
Whatever yes is in German. But for Klopp, 9. He's 9. He's not realistic. He's not leaving even if things go poorly and he leaves Liverpool and whatever, it ends and everybody's sad. That Klopp, he accomplished great things at Liverpool. He's going to go get another club job in about 3 minutes. It's going to take 3 minutes for a big Champions League level club to hire Jurgen Klopp. They're going to kick the guy they have now out the door and welcome in Jurgen Klopp to take over. That's going to happen.
What do you think of Giovanni Reina, the super sub? Does that make you feel good or bad?
Like right now at Borussia Dortmund?
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund.
How does it make me feel? Am I on the couch? What is this? Dr. DuBois again? We're doing that? Oh, God.
Tell me about your mother.
Makes me feel... I don't... man. I don't begrudge the guy anything, so I want him to have success. I think him being a sub indicates that he's probably not 100% fit to start games, which could validate some of what Berhalter did, but I hated the way Berhalter handled it in the first place. So it just doesn't make me feel anyway. Good for Giovanni Reina
if he
goals.
finishes the season in that role and having success, let's say over the next, we got 2 months left in the European season, roughly 2.5 months.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say he puts another 4 goals in as a sub consistently. Maybe he gets one start in that time, but consistently a sub, 4 goals.
Where are you going with this?
Does he need to move from Dortmund? Is that not the right place for him then, if that's his role?
No, the dude is 20 years old. He can
stay at Dortmund as a sub for next season.
No,
Super
stay
sub.
at Dortmund, prove that you can be a starter and deliver the same sort of
He has proved he can be a starter. He's been a starter there before.
He spent a year injured. He spent a year not being able to do a damn thing. He's only just now getting a chance to prove himself a little bit. This is not, I don't know if it's about his fitness or not. I really don't. But but Terzic has said he's not 100%. He's not there yet. So clearly Terzic is seeing this as, I've got this incredibly talented player. I'm not going to burn him out. I'm not going to roll him out there and let him get hurt again and lose another year. I'm going to use him as I see fit in limited minutes because he can impact a game positively. In fact, I think this super sub thing actually indicates that the kid's going to be a starter next year if he can just stay healthy for the remainder of this season.
Okay,
That's
does
what I
that mean? Okay, so a starter at Dortmund is what you're saying.
At Dortmund, yes, at Dortmund. Or they sell him for 75 million pounds at
Dortmund
the
loves to
first
sell,
opportunity.
So, I mean, Dortmund loves to sell, so
They'll sell him as soon as Reyna gets a full season under his belt. And okay, Jared, give me your guess. Full, healthy Giovanni Reyna playing. I don't know. Give me a number of appearances. 35 to 36.
Over
maybe
what
not
period?
even that many.
Total so far? Or what are you talking?
No. I'm saying, imagine a future
Okay.
in which Giovanni Reyna has played 30 games in a season.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
What are his numbers?
Depends what role Dortmund plays him in. Are you talking about the starting role?
Now
Are you
you
talking about
sound like
starting role?
me. You sound like me.
I'm going to
He's
answer your
played-
question. I'll let you all answer. Don't clap
he's
your
played-
hands at me.
I'm clapping my hands at you. He's played 30 games and started 25.
Okay, and I'm assuming that he's going to be in the forward line, not in the midfield.
You
So-
still sound like me. Stop doing
No,
it.
because you're going to say the same production rates at those two different
No,
positions.
I just want you to give me a guess because he
I'll
hasn't ever been
say
healthy long enough.
7 goals, 6 assists.
Okay, I think you're underselling Giovanni Reyna at that rate. I do.
think you're
I
underselling
think
the
he's
Bundesliga.
I think he's a 10-10 guy pretty easily if he makes 30 appearances. I really do.
Okay.
Now that and if
No
he
matter
is a
which,
10-10
whether
guy,
midfield or forward, you think that he's 10 and 10.
yes, no matter what. I mean, he's got a knack for
Wow.
popping up, scoring goals. We know he can pick a pass from the midfield, 10-10. I think he gets there, right? So I don't know if he can stay healthy, but if he does get that long period of time in which he's playing significant minutes for Dortmund, then
If you're
okay,
Anthony Hudson,
you know,
that's our coach's name now, right? Anthony Hudson, that's correct. Okay,
I believe it's Anthony Hudson.
Anthony Hudson. You're Anthony.
Anthony.
You're Anthony Hudson. You bring Gio Reyna this window, this month. Are you bringing in Gio Reyna?
I am.
There's not much better unformed
going
player.
to say, so can I do what you just did, kind of, and talk my way
Yeah.
through it here?
Yeah,
I would sit down with
it is
Tyler
a talk
Adams.
show.
I would sit down with Tyler Adams first. Now, since I can't
Interesting.
know what Tyler Adams would say, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say get it over with. Move on.
I think so,
Don't
too.
make
I think you ripped
it's
the
more
Band-Aid.
of a story
Yep.
if you don't bring him in.
Because here's the thing: outside of Malik Tillman, there's no hotter player in the U.S. national team right now. Malik Tillman may be the hottest player in the national team right now at their club. That's okay. Doesn't matter. You can only play what's in front of you, right?
No, that's true. That's true. But Malik Tillman's not. I don't think anybody thinks Malik Tillman's as good as Giovanni Reyna, pure talent
No,
wise. Right
I'm
now.
just talking about
Right
who's
now.
hot. I'm just talking
Yes,
about
right.
hot players right now.
Yes,
And
okay.
so that being said, I think you have to bring him in. I think you do it. You, like you said, rip the Band-Aid off, start the healing process, move forward. It's going to be awkward, but let Gio Reyna show you that he is now can act like an adult and he can take the feedback and he can produce.
You know what? This is maybe this feels a little bit. Man, like when you get caught smoking, your dad makes you smoke an entire carton to prove a point. What movie was that from? I can't remember what that was. But it's a little bit heavy-handed. But I think, and I don't know if Hudson has I don't know if he's got the pull within the Fed with his temporary status for this. But I think if it was me, I would call Gio in. I would make him do all the media.
Yeah.
I would make him talk to people. I would make him be now.
and I think you have to be upfront about that when you make the call up. Hey, I'm bringing you in, but here's the expectation.
Here's the deal.
So he's not
You're gonna
surprised on it
have
when
to
he
talk
gets
to
there.
people. You're going to have to be mature in this situation. You're going to have to address what happened, right? And you can demur. Like if they say, hey, what do you think about your parents and what they did? He can say, look, I love my parents very much. And that's all I'm going to say. He can do that, right? Handle it, though. Like, handle it and be there and stand up and account for what happened. And then say,
Yep.
I still think I can be a major part of this national team moving forward. I'm excited to be here. I want to go out and win games with this group.
I agree with you.
There you
And
go.
if we got a game to play here in a few minutes, but real quick before we get to that, give me 2 or 3 names that for you want to see in this upcoming window that maybe weren't big feature players at the World Cup.
I want to say Chris Richards. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but he's played enough minutes that I think
it's
time.
good enough. I think it's okay to bring him in. I
It's
think
time.
definitely.
Chris Richards is in there for sure. Wow, let me.
Can I
go
throw a
through
name
my-
out there?
Yeah, do it.
Taylor Booth is killing it, dude.
Where do you put
Booth
Taylor?
is-
Where do you put Taylor Booth?
I don't know, man. He plays as an actual winger on a 4-4-2. Like that's where he looks natural playing out there.
Now, Malik Tillman could also be in this conversation, but I'm going to limit it because Tillman has had a little bit more of a look, I think, recently. I don't know. People are higher on Malik Tillman right now. You're calling up the national team for March. You got one spot left in that sort of attacking area. Taylor Booth or Georgi Mihailovic?
Taylor Booth. Same league, and one of them is producing more. Great. It's unfair. Jordan Mihailovic is just getting to his club, getting some minutes though. But Taylor Booth, if you've watched the mixtapes of these dudes' minutes in the last few games, like this kid is tearing up the field.
Man, I really got to fix this.
Oh, baby!
It's the only one I got.
Oh, baby!
The dude is what's the hit him what like that dude's got moves like
I don't got that either right
proud
now.
of. What are you doing? What's wrong with your board?
It's the whole computer dying thing.
But
So I just
but you
have
make
it
a good
fully.
point though. Like he looks dangerous in a position that most teams don't play in the modern game anymore. A sideline midfielder. Like that looks to be where he spends most of his time. Now I don't know if they truly line up in a 4-4-2, but you can see the areas that he operates in. It is straight down the sideline, and he skins dudes. He skins them.
Cutting a couple mention for guys that were in the January camp. Brendan Vasquez, who I've heard from a reliable source is a beautiful man. I've heard that.
Up close,
I don't know where
in
I got
person.
it from.
I've heard that.
Somebody who got very close to Brendan Vasquez said that's
I think I actually
man.
heard them say that he's a damn handsome man.
A damn handsome man? Are you sure damn was in there? There may have been some curse words. I don't actually know. Okay, so Brandon Vasquez, I think, yeah. Okay, actually, let's make it another pick your poison because this name came up as well. Brandon Vasquez, Ricardo Pepi.
Only one of the Vitch? We can do
Only one of them.
Ooh, man. I think I think Brandon Vasquez looked good, and I think that he still has a role to play in this. He just got the January camp. Pepe, I would rather, just like Gio Reyna, I would bring Pepe in to see how he responds to what's happened in the last 4 months. I think that is important for a young player, is to get them back on the horse, put him in under pressure, and see how he responds when he's back with the national team. Brandon Vasquez is in MLS preseason, the form, conditioning. Maybe you can make the case to leave him behind. You bring in Pepe and you see what he can do. If those are
the season will be underway by then, but I do get your points. Early days in MLS, and
a couple from the chat. Justin says DK and Luca Della Torre. Luca Della Torre looking very good. DK's getting some shine in some minutes in the championship. Shouldn't forget about a lot of people calling for Sendejas again. Didn't he just get injured for America though? Just this last week,
I did not catch that.
I think he got some kind of strain, and maybe it could be because he played so many games in a row.
Another certain friend of ours has brought up the name Mark McKenzie. He's been playing well in Belgium.
Okay, then you don't have to play the drop again. But pick your. Oh
no, but I love
you.
the drop so much.
Okay.
Come on, you're gonna say no to BBD to Believe DeVoe? Are you kidding me? Come on.
You can only bring one of these center backs.
Oh God.
Are you gonna bring in Mark McKenzie or Austin Trusty?
Ooh, that was a tough one.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I'm on the Austin Trusty train.
I'm on the Trusty train too.
Just him on the Trusty train.
Trusty, man. Like that, I'm in for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm
Until
not
he
saying
eliminates his team from the FA Cup with an own goal.
Oh God, he's scored plenty of goals as a center back this season as well.
Jeez,
is there a voice? Where did that come from?
It's a voice from Toledo.
All right, let's bring the voice of Toledo and the voice of Florida in and play a game.
Oh, they're all going to come in. Man, I wish I don't have the music for the games either. I'm sorry. I just have the ding. I just have this thing.
I think you and Morgan are having like a battle to see who can get more soccer crap behind him.
I probably.
But here's
win.
the thing:
he wins. But you've also been in this industry way longer than I have.
You guys both have an advantage in this game, kind of, in a way.
Oh, we do.
Yes, okay. Because of your rooms. So we're gonna play a game, and I'll be honest with you up front. I kind of stole this game from another podcast I listened to, a disc golf podcast.
You're not supposed to sit
blocked.
No,
it's okay. You give him a shout. It's a soccer version of it.
Man,
what?
So smell like crusty Birkenstocks or something. This game. Okay, go ahead.
Whatever. like Doug Loves Movies isn't just named that tune.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So,
go ahead.
This game, it's gonna be 2 rounds. Okay, each of you are gonna go. I have eBay pulled up in front of me.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm gonna let you give me 3 keywords to search.
Okay.
3 soccer keywords, and then I'm gonna bring up a search. The goal is to bring up the highest priced item you can bring up.
Okay.
Using 3 keywords, and then once you give me the 3 keywords and the search comes up, you're gonna tell me what number down the page to go to.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And then
All
I'm
right.
going to total. And here's the key: you're gonna get 2 rounds. First round, you can search anything you want. One of the rounds has to be American specific.
Oh,
And that round, and for that item, you get double the value.
Okay. All right.
I like
is
this.
complicated.
This is fun.
We're following
Okay.
this. We have played an eBay game before. I just don't remember what. It was something involving American stuff.
Maybe.
But go ahead.
It was like nostalgic.
It was. It was
soccer
like
stuff.
the Pablo Maurer
Okay,
game.
I'm
or
gonna need you to
something.
put your left hand in the air.
left hand. Okay.
Repeat after
Mike,
me. I swear on the spirit of Breck Shea,
I swear, on
swear.
the spirit of it.
Spirit of Brett
On the
Shea.
spirit
I
of
will
Breck Shea
not
Pony.
cheat or look at the chat to get answers.
I will not
I will
cheat.
not cheat
nor
or
look at the chat
to get
get
answers.
Answers.
So help me, John O'Brien. Okay.
So
Tell
help
me,
me,
So
John
help me.
O'Brien.
John O'Brien.
All right. So going first, I've randomly selected a name. Jason Davis.
Oh God.
Okay, Jason Davis.
I already
give me your
have
round
mine.
Round
Okay,
one.
give me your 3 words that you would like me to search on eBay to bring up the highest price item
Oh my
that you
God.
can think of.
The highest price.
Soccer related. Okay, you can't search
Okay.
Van Gogh pictures or Van Gogh paintings or something.
Man, the highest price. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna go safe. I could be a little bit more like
Okay.
take a shot, take a risk. I'm gonna be safe here.
Okay.
Louis Vuitton, is that one word or two? Do I get Louis Vuitton as one word or Louis
That's
Vuitton
2
as
words,
2
sir.
words? Damn it. And World Cup is 2 words? That does not seem fair. That doesn't seem right.
Well, then think of better words.
Man, if I say Louis Vuitton ball, it might not be a soccer. It might be maybe what I'm looking for. This is tough.
I'm not actually.
Well, then
I could
just
give
do
you some hints on that.
Vuitton.
Okay.
Vuitton.
Vitton, correct?
Vuitton.
VUI, excuse me.
Believe it is Vuitton.
Okay.
Being a high class individual, I know how to spell Louis Vuitton.
And polo,
soccer.
apparently.
Oh, wait, not soccer. Louis, just do Vuitton World Cup. That's my best shot here. I'm probably very not.
I now
good.
have search results for Louis Vuitton World Cup. I can tell you there are both things that are soccer and that are not soccer on this.
Shit.
Now tell me how far down the page, how many results down would you like me to go to find your item?
Well, I could just roll the dice and go number 1 and just risk it.
Good. And by the way, we're always doing whatever the buy it now price is, and it has to have a buy it now option. If there's no buy it now option, I'll ask you for a different selection.
I'll go with 3. Let's go with 3.
Third one down. You have chosen a Louis Vuitton World Cup wallet.
Damn it.
That retails on best. Let's see. Let me make sure that it has a buy now option. It does have a buy it now. The buy it now price for Jason's first item. You want to guess?
No, tell me.
Okay.
Too much suspense.
$480.
All right. I could have done better.
That's
Reasonable.
pretty good.
Reasonable.
I think I did better.
All right. Next up, Morgan Stanley.
All right. Well, I already have my. Whatever. As soon as you said this whole thing,
That
I
means
already
she's
knew
too
what I
big
was
to
gonna say.
fail.
You already
Jared.
knew
That's
what you
that
wanted,
means.
huh? Philadelphia what? I can start typing it?
Messi signed jersey.
What is
Messi
it?
signed jersey.
Messi signed jersey.
See, I was going to go in a direction like that, but I didn't. Let's
Okay,
see.
Messi
World Cup
signed jersey.
stuff, probably.
Okay, and what number on the page would you like me to go to? Because there are a
6.
lot. 6. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me make sure
go.
there's a buy now
$12.99.
option.
$12.99.
Probably gonna be so shit.
Buy it now price for what your 6th result is Leo Messi signed Argentina World Cup soccer jersey with COA. Meaning
Certificate of authenticity.
authentication, yeah.
We're in trouble.
$999.99.
I would buy it.
I'm just telling you that it's there, and I'm not telling you if that's the highest
You got
or lowest.
you got
than
a
that.
G? You got a G lying around for a signed Messi
I'm not
World
even
Cup
that bad.
All right.
You think it's real?
Be way more.
I
Nikki
thought they
Soup
said
and
COA.
Salad.
I think it's
Nikki
real.
Soup and Salad. Remember, you can go world or US still. You have both options. The other two have to go American centric on their next one.
Probably should have stretched the definition of soccer or like
Right.
the application of the soccer here. That's what you should
How so?
do. I'm going to save that.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do. Okay,
No, I'm just saying, like
Nick,
you
you're going
could.
third. You better have your words already picked out. What the hell?
I
Man,
know.
this
I'm
one's
torn.
this is
Okay.
a tough game.
I'm trying to determine if I want to go American first or if I want to save it for the end.
Oh, okay, so I see. Okay.
That's dead air.
You know what's great for a podcast?
Let's
Dead
do
air.
World
Great.
Cup
World Cup
94.
94. This could be a keychain, for God's sakes.
It
Okay.
could.
I know.
It could be a
All right,
sticker
how many
of
down?
Striker.
I can tell you right now, the range on your items is amazing. So it's all going to come down
See
to
it.
what number you would like to pick, sir. What's your magic number?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your number 7.
Is there a buy it now?
There is a buy it now, and the buy it now price. Okay, really first, let me tell you what you've selected, sir. You've won a World Cup 94 Upper Deck Limited Edition USA Mexico. That's a card? I think it's a
Probably
playing
a soccer
card.
card. Yeah, playing.
You've won a playing card worth a retail value of $20.
Wah, 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 wah.
If you had gone one more, you would have got a $999 jersey, one of the denim kit jerseys. The players
I almost
featured
went-
on
You
this
shouldn't
card,
do that. You shouldn't say stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
shouldn't
as
say
my
that, Jared.
American one, so I guess we
So
can't
that
do
was
that
not
now.
available now. Let's see. The players on this are Tony Miola, Lexi Lawless, Joe Max Moore, and I can't see what this one is right here. Number 8, whoever number 8 was. I can't see. Midfield at a university of... Oh, no, okay. All right. Back to front. Jason, you have to
$20.
go American-centric.
Ah, crap. All right. American-centric. Okay. There's a couple of directions I'm going to go. I feel like we're all going to drill down on this. I'm going to go with the 3 words being Pelé, Signed, and Cosmos.
Ooh.
I wasn't even thinking American soccer. I was just thinking U.S. national team.
No.
That is American base. It is Cosmos
That's
jersey.
a good one.
So, sir...
So
how-
here's the thing. Because I didn't put jersey in there, I'm now risking a card or a tchotchke of some type.
Oh, I can tell you
That's
there's
my
a bit of
issue.
all that.
Yeah, that's my issue.
Probably
Because
still
I
worth a
couldn't-
lot 'cause he's dead.
How could I
now.
get signed
But there's
and
also
Pelé?
one that will guarantee you the victory.
Damn it, you asshole. Don't do that to me.
Because this number, I would double it. Oh, right,
I
right.
need- I
Nick's
need-
is
I need
double,
some-
so
I
Nick,
need-
yours is
I
worth
need-
40. Just so you
I
know.
need like
yours is worth
some
40.
dice right now. Let's go. You know what? And my lucky number has always been 7. I'll go with 7 also. Let's go 7.
Okay, 1, 2,
7.
3, 4,
Seven.
5, 6, 7. All right.
Big
Jason,
money,
let me
big
make sure
money.
there's a
Let's
buy
go.
it now option on
Let's
this.
go.
It does have a buy it
Let's
now
go.
option.
Let's
You
go.
have selected a Pele signed Santos FC limited edition New York Cosmos numbered Brazil World Cup. This is weird. It has just buzzwords. It's just keywords in this thing.
They
And it
cheated the
looks like
system,
it's
right?
Is it a painting or something? Is there a bigger description on this? I can
Oh
find out what the
no!
heck this
I
thing
I
is.
got ruined by
It just
like,
says condition, fine condition.
hucksters.
Okay, your buy it now price for what I think is it's a print. It's a painting.
It's a painting.
And
Great.
Pele is nowhere in it. It's just horses and a landscape. I don't know why Pelos
Horses in a landscape.
I
What?
want to send you this picture and just
Oh.
Pele painted it.
What? Oh my
And
goodness!
he's got
What?
his signature on it and a 171 of 300 number on it.
Okay.
Your retail value for this
Uh-huh.
$250.
Not bad.
But it's doubled
Come on.
because that was your American one, so you get $500 value for that. So
Oh, so I got
Jason's
40 for
final
mine.
You got
Yeah.
40 for yours.
Oh.
So you're in it. Jason, your final price to beat is $980. Morgan is already over that with her $999.99. So Jason's been eliminated. Now the question is, how far can Morgan stretch this, and can Nick then try to beat it? And I have seen at least some items out there that could beat this.
So
I'm just mad at eBay right now. This is bullshit.
I was gonna go with 94 USA jersey, but like you just said that there was something on there that was already that much money. Should I go in like a different direction?
I don't know that the same search results will come up in the same order.
It's true. I was gonna go with 94 because I know how expensive they are.
Okay.
Because I bought mine not on eBay.
94, 1994. What do you want to
No,
do?
94 USA jersey.
Wait a second. Okay. All right.
Okay,
What?
that is different
I
than
thought we
that's
said
different
no
than
denim,
Nick's.
but okay.
That's
Dude,
different
I
than-
just was asking. They were saying no denim because he said something like that.
No.
You gave it away.
You're asking for a different search result than Nick did. Nick did 94 World
No.
Cup.
That's not the issue. The issue is that you were
You
like,
said the denim kit.
you were like, oh, there's
You
a denim,
suggested
blah
it.
blah blah.
Oh,
You
not all the
basically-
denim
Well,
kits on
I
there
was
are
gonna
that
do it
price.
before it,
I can
but
tell you
I
right
also-
now, not all those denim
All
kits.
right, all right,
There's
all
denim kits
right.
out there that are like $10.
Roll of the dice. Roll of the dice. Let's
I'll
go.
probably get
94
like
USA
something that's
jersey.
$12.
94 USA jersey is what has been searched for. And what number would you like, Morgan?
4.
The fourth result in this, not bad. 1994 USA Home SNS number 22 Lawless 94 American World Cup 94-95 jersey. It's
it's
the
a Lawless.
away one. It's the wavy red and white line one.
Those aren't bad.
Your value is $299 and it's doubled. So you are going to get a $598 value combined with your $999, and your new number is plus $598, $1,597.99. So take 40 away from that, and Nick, you need to find a purchase worth $1,557.
That's not even that hard to do on
$90.
eBay.
You can.
No, it's
They've
probably
been out there.
not,
There's
but
been
you gotta-
multiple out there I've seen.
Got to figure this out.
So Nick,
Come
you
on,
gotta go
Nicky.
big. And you have the world
Let's
to
go,
choose from.
Nicky.
You've already done your American one, so you could go
Go,
American
Nicky.
and double,
Let's go.
not double the first one.
Let's go, baby. Let's
Nothing.
go.
Okay,
Let's go. Let's go.
What are we going with, Nick?
Maradona.
Oh, I like
Okay.
where this is
Thought about
going.
it. Thought about it. Thought about it. Thought
Okay.
about it. What we got?
Autographed.
Coke spoon. Oh, okay.
That's not right, man. That's not right.
Jersey.
Don't do that. Maradona autographed jersey.
That's gonna be it.
Okay, Nick, there are ones on here that will win it for you. There are ones on here that will lose it for you.
I feel like that man autographed a bunch of jerseys. You know what I'm saying?
Can you
Like,
tell me the
a
amount
lot.
I need?
You need to get $1,548 to win.
Okay.
Pick a number, Nick. They're all the same at this point. You're not. You have no idea. It's pure guessing.
Let's go.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Let's go.
Just go.
What the hell?
Okay.
Let's go. Number 10.
There you
I
go.
was
That's
gonna
what I was
say,
going
you
to
should
say.
do 10
That's,
first.
that's the
Number
karma
one.
pick.
Okay.
That's the karma
One,
pick. Number 10.
2, 3, 4, 5. Should I tell you the value of the things you're passing as I go down?
No.
Don't do that. That's
Not
me.
yet.
Don't do that.
Okay, 1,
That's
2,
me.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 10 is new! Exclamation point. Maradona signed photo frame.
No.
Official FIFA World Cup 86
no.
merchandise icons. Okay? This does have a buy it now. It does have a buy it now. It is an autographed picture of Diego Maradona, and it's in a frame. It even has a little thing at the bottom that says personally signed by Diego Maradona. The buy it now price for this autographed picture in frame, $3,000. Nick is the winner.
Oh! What an
Jesus.
upset.
Nick has exactly
What?
$3,040.
Upset. Wow. Wow. Pulled
And
it
Nick-
out. It
Nick,
should have been Maradona.
some of the
from
things that
beginning.
were passed, the
I
very
didn't even
first
think about
result
Maradona.
was a
should have been Maradona.
The
And
very
look,
first, good.
well, no, it's something that I thought about and failed on. Is that game worn or something like that probably would have gotten you there also?
So there, the very first result was an Argentina World Cup World Champion jersey, 86 team signed shirt, autographed Diego, and that's $5,279. There's the one right before you, the number 9. It can't be something that's actually worth this, but Maradona, Pele, Messi, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Carlos Valderrama signed jerseys. There's one of each in a bundle together.
What?
There's no way they're
$20,000.
real.
I have no idea.
$20,000.
I'm just telling you that what I see here.
How can you confirm any of this? Right? That's.
You
I mean,
don't
in
have to
terms of
confirm it.
like
That's the beauty of the game. You just have to be smart enough to pick
not,
it.
Not you. I'm saying that if you decided to spend $20,000 on a collection of South American superstar jerseys, how do you know you're actually getting those jerseys they're like legitimately signed by those. You have no idea. I'm saying you have no idea. Certificate of authenticity.
Final
What does it
results:
mean?
Jason Davis $980, Morgan
Whooped. I got whooped.
$1,597.99, and Nikki Soup and Salad $3,040 Ohio Toledo dollars.
Wow.
Are those worth less or more?
Yeah.
I think they're Confederate dollars. Were you guys? Which side
What?
were you on?
No,
which side
we
were
were
you guys
in the
on?
North.
Confederate dollars.
okay, just making sure.
Confederate dollars.
Go back to school.
Wow, that's just not right.
That's the game, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That was
That was
fun.
really fun.
That was. I did not know what to expect because you didn't.
I told
really
you
prep
anyone
us
could play.
beforehand. Yeah, it wasn't like who was on the 1998 Chicago Fire championship team or some nonsense like that, right? Something no one knows.
Ante
There's Jesse
Razov,
Marsh.
Hristov Stoikov.
Yeah, I know you
Love
know
me
some
some
of
Rastafari.
those. Yeah. All right. Did we have other business? Was there other things? Is Following Balogun going to play for the United States of America? Jared, yeah.
Oh, I put the wrong.
Don't. Hey, this is why you don't push the buttons. This is why Nick
Well,
pushes
no one
the
was
buttons.
pushing them.
That's okay. They
Florian
can-
Balogun. I think he will be. I think it might depend on the coach. I think
I
it
don't
might
think the
depend
coach
on
has
the coach.
anything to do with it. I don't think the coach has anything to do with it.
Really? You don't think Jesse Marsh? You don't think Greg Berhalter played any role in Serginho Dest picking?
No, sure he did. Sure he did. But I don't think Following Balogun at this point. Here's okay.
A player's not going
Dest-
to come to sit.
Hold on. Dest could have played for the Dutch. Yes, he could have played at some point, and he might have had a shot at the senior team, and maybe he had a shot at the World Cup and all these things. He was still a prospect when all that went down. Right? He chose the United States over the Netherlands, and give Berhalter, whoever recruited him, credit for that. Musa maybe could have one day broken into the Italy team. Maybe one day could have broken into the England team. He was going to play for the U.S. right now. Following Balogun is this close to going back to Arsenal and this close to scoring goals in the Premier League and therefore this close to getting an England call-up. I don't think he's playing for us. I want him to. I dream of it, but I don't think
be
he's
Harry
playing
Kane's
for us.
backup.
Sure, why not? Harry Kane's going to get old eventually, and Balogun will be right there. I don't know.
I don't know,
He's gonna-
man. I there's hashtag Vibe Squad. There's hashtag Vibe Squad on the U.S. man.
Yeah, maybe he is Vibe Squad. We don't know he's Vibe Squad. I know he's boys with Eunice and probably
Eunice
they're
is
all
working
leaning
on it. He's
him.
on the case.
He's on the yeah. I mean, Eunice Moose is like the most likable person on the planet, so I could see him maybe convincing him to come play like in a friendly or something. But I just don't know. And we shouldn't. I mean, look, if he plays for the U.S., great. But obviously, the program and whoever's in charge, whether it's Anthony or anybody else, has to start thinking about who that center forward actually is going to be. If it's not Following Balogun,
The
you
picture,
can't count on
looks
him
a little
showing
bit
up.
better than it did before with Brandon Vasquez.
Well,
and-
give me rank your center forwards right now. I know it's not a great time, but rank them anyway before we get out.
See, am I including Balogun or no?
No, he's not. He hasn't declared for the U.S. You can't include him. Only players
Okay.
that are actually committed to the U.S.
Number one. Mm-hmm. Man, this is tough.
No, start. Well, I guess you can't start the other way until you know who number one is.
I don't know how many I'm going to go down. I don't know how I'm going to go down.
Yeah, who's number one?
I will say number one is probably Ricardo Pepi. He's most informed.
Number one is Ricardo Pepi right now.
Who else?
Really?
Who else?
That's. I don't know. I guess I'm just shocked that that's where we're at. I mean, it could
I would
be
say
Vasquez. It could be Vasquez.
It could be,
I don't
but he's
think it
also
is.
preseason. I don't know. Like
Sure.
you said, right now, I mean, he hasn't been tested at the international level.
Okay. Tell me if you were playing. So you're playing the Gold Cup, and you know Brandon Vasquez will be in the middle of his season. You don't know how many goals he'll have scored by then for FC Cincinnati, but he'll be in the middle of his season. If we're talking then, and obviously that means the European players are out of season, and that complicates it. But just give me, without considering their current circumstance, just based on ability and how good you think they could be for the national team, give me your rankings.
How far down do you want me to go?
4 or 5. You could go 6 or 7 with the guys we got at this point.
Okay, so I said Pepe's the first. I'm going to go Haji Wright second.
Okay.
Am I considering Malik Tillman as a striker? Because he's
No.
playing that sometimes for Rangers, but I wouldn't
No.
say that's his natural position. Okay.
No.
And then I would take Brandon Vasquez.
Okay. Pepe, Wright, Vasquez.
And then I would take... No, yeah, I'll take Josh Sargent before Vasquez.
Pepe, right Sergeant Vasquez.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a name that hasn't shown up yet that I'm a little surprised. I mean, recent body of work is an issue. I get it, but okay.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
DK?
Yes.
I just think he's still rounding back into form. He's not even starting consistently at Bournemouth. So I think he's on the
Bournemouth?
outside looking.
He said West Brom, but he's
West
not
Brom.
that would be great if he was at Bournemouth.
That's their
that'd be
Premier
great.
League. West Brom. Man,
New
I think that's
coach.
kind of
Just
where I
got a new
stop right now.
coach.
I think that's kind of where I stop right now because I think there's a pretty strict. Then you're getting into the Giassi Zardes, the Jesus Ferreiras, and
You're getting
I
into the
don't
Jordan
know
P.
that-
Fox, who finally scored again. He
Yeah.
scored again, Jared. Jordan
Yeah.
P. Fox.
I mean, PFOC could easily get his work his way in with a few good weeks of production, but it's just been so cold for so long that I just don't know. And also, if you're bringing in a target striker, which is what Jordan PFOC is, I don't know that Brandon Vasquez isn't a better version of that. I
Okay, that's
honestly
fair.
don't know. But PFOC could be better. I know he scored more at higher levels, but he doesn't feel like he's in form right now.
Okay. And last thing here.
Wait, you're not going to do the exercise?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll do them.
Or just tell me where I'm wrong or what you changed.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think it's possible to be. I don't think it's possible to be wrong right now with this group. I would probably have, wow. I would probably have right number one. I thought he was going to move in January. That would have changed things for me. That would have made it more comfortable because
I think he's on
needs to
10
play
or 11 goals right now
at a higher level than that club in Turkey. I think I would go right number one. I think I would say.
Are they pausing that league right now with the earthquake that happened in Turkey? Are they pausing
Probably.
that?
I haven't actually checked on that. Pepe and Vasquez are very close for me. I know they do different things, but they're very close for me in terms of just who I like more right now. I would say I'll put Pepe ahead of Vasquez. So I'll go right, Pepe, Vasquez, Sargent. Who did you put at number? Who am I missing?
I think I had
I'm missing
DK.
somebody. DK. I guess DK at number 5. I guess
Ferreira.
that's the. Oh well, I'm definitely down on Ferreira. The stock has fallen. I think he's a nice MLS player.
I mean, that's going to happen naturally with MLS players. You haven't seen him play in quite some time.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to see a Bobasi go on a run with San Jose to start the year, and just I don't know, throw him in there somewhere at some point and take a look. I don't know if he's even the guy, right? Probably not, but why not give him a shot? Are there any other American strikers at MLS that were kind of let's keep an eye on that guy? Besides Vasquez and Bobasi, am I missing anybody?
Man, not necessarily. I think guys like Christian Ramirez are coming back to MLS. I just don't think that's going to be the case.
No. Nice guy. Not a national teamer. No.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see that. Unfortunately, at the MLS level, the striker position tends to be foreign based and guys
because people spend money on that position.
Yeah.
Except for San Jose and Cincinnati. They did take a chance. They also have Brenner still, so you give them credit for that. All right. I wanted to. We're very long. The last thing is that Timothy Weah is playing left back. Jared, does that bother you?
Get him out of there, dude.
Get him out of France. France is no place for anybody. Get him out.
It's not even right back. It's left back.
I said, is that what I said? I said left back.
You said left
I did
back.
say left
Yeah,
back.
he's right-footed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
It means it's versatile. All right. Anything else to toss on the pile?
I just feel like Lille has never fully trusted Tim Weah in that forward role. He's always been in and out, stubbing, starting, playing different versions of it. I don't feel that they've ever fully trusted him. And I think he deserves to go to a place that really wants him for who he is.
Is another guy where injuries have kind of slowed his momentum at times and made it so they're not necessarily sure about him. They've also had just wild sort of swings in terms of coaching. They had that great season and then dropped way back down the table. It's just been a weird situation. So, All right. Mr. DuBois, any other business before I adjourn this episode of the Best Soccer Show?
I don't believe so, sir. I think we covered most of the big headlines. Let us know what you guys thought. Let us know what you guys thought of the game. Do you want some more games? You got an idea for a game?
Let's give a shout out. Pointing at the screen. Let's give a shout out to Nicholas Murray and Jonathan Tannewald, who hung out together today at the USL headquarters in Tampa,
They're not the
Florida.
same person.
No, definitely not.
Like Superman
Two
and Clark
people.
Kent.
Two
never
people.
seen the same
Nicholas
place
Murray
together.
and Jonathan.
Shout out
Tannewald.
more shout outs. Shout out to Morgan for this week's thumbnail. Shout out to Nick for last week's thumbnail. Thank you guys. If you got ideas for other ideas, what you want to do for thumbnails, let us know. Give us some ideas. We'll see what we can put together.
Oh, it's incredible!
I didn't want to play that. I want to play this.
Is that JTT?
OMFPG13, it's JTT!
Who?
Now,
There we
my
go.
question to you is: when Nicholas Murray saw Jonathan Tannenwald this week,
Yes.
did he address him as John, Jonathan, or JTT?
That's a good question. I hope JTT.
Like from across
I
the
hope
room,
JTT.
across the room, you eyes meet, eyes lock. I
I
see
hope
that.
it was-
I see him. There he is. And you want to get his attention.
Yeah.
He better have said
I think he said
JTT.
JTT. I think he did. I think he said JT. In my dreams, he said JTT. All right, that's it. Patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. That's where you get access to the Bestie Slack, which is a rollicking good time at all times. Shout out to a bunch of people in there for doing cool stuff recently. Always good conversations.
Yeah.
Also, you can find us on social media, on Twitter at Bestie Soccer, on Instagram at The Best Soccer Show, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, help me promote, Dubois. Come on, man. Anything else? No?
That's all the socials
No?
we have. So I don't
I
have another thing
guess.
to get
I
on that
mean, I don't
Patreon, y'all.
know.
Get on that Patreon.
Tell me. If you were a bestie, if you were subscribed to the Patreon, you would know about things I got cooking that could be fun. They could be interesting. I'm making some plans, and some people in the Bestie Slack are volunteering to help me out. I think it's going to be
Bank
cool.
heist.
Yeah, awesome. We need a grease man. Still can't find where can you get a
Where can we
grease
get a
man
grease
these
man?
days? Okay, where can you get a grease man? All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Get to the chopper!
What are we doing?
The horror show.
Go to DEFCON 2. DEFCON 3.
Oh, it's incredible!
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Is that JTT?
OMFPG13, it's JTT!
Who?
Damn, dog, that's in a approach.
Oh, baby!
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.
Who asked those questions? WNBC. WNBC.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Jay Rodius.